Padai project. But the truth has now been revealed. Keeping these innocent people as hostages, the LTTE has organized Makkal Padai. This is an ideal example for that. These photographs were found by security forces in Unnachi. The LTTE had left the camera and the film which contained these photos. They revealed to us that in the past, it tells the truth about that. Looking for these prison cells, we went to Unnachi. This is that complex of such prison cells. 4 of this kind of prisons were discovered by the security forces in the Toppigala area. Neither ventilation nor sanitary facilities were available in these prisons. These prison cells were made of concrete. The public had showed their protest towards the LTTE by their own blood. Not only prisons, but also cruel and inhuman abattoirs have been built for the ordinary people to torture them in this way.
We
can clearly say that this is a LTTE abattoir. When innocent civilians protest, the LTTE, they may have been taken here and tied their legs using these chains and locked and kept here by the LTTE. Then numbered them like this separately, each individual. We can see clearly that this is an inhuman act of the LTTE terrorists. Being tortured like this in Chenkaladi, Kiran, Vellavali and Patipula regional secretariats, more than 100,000 people were in the grasp of the terrorists. The main target of the security forces was to liberate these people from the terrorists. As the A5 road was taken under the army's control in the beginning of the operation, these people could come to the liberated areas easily. Liberating the areas and rehabilitating these people, Toppigala operation acted in a balanced way. To rehabilitate these people, the government provided every facility. Transport, health, education and aid to repair the houses, and also dry food rations were given continuously to those people by the government very generously. The LTTE had kidnapped and kept civilians, giving them military training by force, used them for their military operations. But they had managed to escape and surrendered to the security forces. The LTTE's inhuman torture on the civilians is proved by these people. As the Toppigala operations attacks were widened by the security forces, the number of fleeing terrorists increased. This is such a group. Putting the lower ranks to the forward lines in the battle, the leaders tried to retreat and escape, said this group. LTTE had used underage children who were schooling, and they were in this group. The army acted to hand them over to the parents. In the midst of the forest, even in difficult areas, LTTE had built such prison cells. In these, they had kept civilians who stood against them. This shows that they were imprisoned like wild animals. Imprisoning people who protested and did not accept their opinions, the LTTE had tortured them very much, and this was revealed by those who escaped and surrendered to the security forces. I was kidnapped and imprisoned by LTTE for about 8 months. I suffered a lot. In the camp where I was kept, there were about 175 like me. We were beaten badly. Our legs were chained and tied. Chains were removed only in the working hours. Building bunkers, fetching water, cooking, all these were done by us. Due to the arrival of the army, we managed to escape. Many people who stayed with us were taken out by the LTTE in the night, and they were shot and killed.
வேலைக்கு போயிட்டு திரும்ப வாங்க சாப்பாடு ஆகுதுன்னு சொல்லி டைமுக்கு ஒரு நேரம் தான் சாப்பாடு தருவாங்க.
Only one meal was given for a day, no water. We were beaten daily. They tortured us. We worked for them like slaves. So-called human rights organizations never cared for us.
திரும்பவும் இப்போ இந்த எங்களோட பனிஷ்மெண்ட் முடிஞ்சதுக்கு பிறகுதான் எங்களை வந்து அடின்றது இல்லை. அவங்களோட கிச்சனில் அதில் இருந்து சமைக்கணும், சோறு ஒரு ஆய கொடுக்கணும், நாங்கள் அமைக்க கொல்லி எடுக்க போகணும், அப்படி எங்களை வந்து கஷ்டப்பட்டு தான் வச்சுருந்தவங்க.
To treat the members who were injured by the attacks of the army, the LTTE had built this hospital carefully in the middle of the forest. Many of these huts are located in the middle of the forest as treating centers. Medicine in these centers were robbed from the government hospitals most of the time. Also, medicine and equipment given for the civilians by several humanitarian organizations were used in a large scale in these centers. Amongst them, the UNO, UNICEF and Red Cross organizations' medicines are there. LTTE had taxed the people even for their harvest. Such lots of paddy were used to build bunkers by the LTTE. Food lots given by the international voluntary organizations to the civilians were also seen in the LTTE camps. In this Malathi-based LTTE camp, rice lots of the World Food Organization can be seen. Every camp has such stores. Many non-governmental organizations had given vehicles for the government's use, and they were also used by the LTTE members. When security forces attacked them, the LTTE had destroyed them. Many places of archaeological importance located in this area had been destroyed by the LTTE terrorists. On top of the historical Kuchinamale rock, there was a pagoda, and the LTTE destroyed it and used it for war activities.